first, I spray this all over my face and dry it. Second, I fill my pores with this. Then I put on this dewy primer on the high points of my face. And lastly, I finish up with Milani Skin Quelch. So I put this on first. Then I take my poreless putty, get some on my fingers, rub it into my fingers, and then rub it on my pores in like my T-zone and below. All around here. Oh. I take my Wet n Wild Dewy Primer, a little bit on my fingers, and just go on the bright spots.
So like here, in the middle, on top of my nose, and then my forehead. Just to brighten it up.
And make it quote-unquote natural. There's gonna be nothing natural about this. I take my Milani Skin Quenching Primer, and I put it on my finger, that much, and rub it in, and just rub it all over. And I concentrate on my nose because my nose gets dry the most. Okay, skin is prepped. For my foundation, I use two kinds. This first one is 125 Nude Beige. It's dewy and smooth, oxidizing sunscreen. Also have this 24-hour freshness L'Oreal Infallible in 415, and this is a little lighter. So I just shake them up, and I put them on wax paper. Then I take a beauty blender and make sure it's damp so it puffs up. And I just put a little bit on the wax paper, not much. That much. And I just take my beauty blender and stamp into it, and then I just stamp it on my face until everything is one color. And I really tried to concentrate on the spots where I know I'm probably gonna sweat off and put more. And then you wanna make sure you get your ears and down below. So I want a full coverage look, so I added a little bit more, and I'm just gonna go over it again until everything is one color and looks quote unquote natural. I have like a mole right here that you can still obviously see, but I'm okay with that. I've got a birthmark over here that you can barely see, and then a couple love bumps on my chin. And like I said, just stamp it out until it's all smooth. I'm gonna brighten the under eyes where you can see my bags, and I've got two concealers. I've got this e.l.f. HD lifting concealer, and I'm gonna put this right on the dark spot.
Just to brighten those up a little.
Use the bottom of my beauty blender before, and I'm going to take the pointy top and just bounce it in. Just to blend it with, it probably doesn't even look different, but it does in person. So then I'm going to take my light one, and this is the 16-hour Camo Concealer in e.l.f. shade Light Beige. And I'm going to use this to brighten up even more and all the other high points.
And it's going to look crazy.
Yikes. Now I'm just going to take the point on the side and just blend it all in. And I'm just bouncing it off and sometimes pushing just to mix that in with my foundation. And I'm also gonna put it on my eyelid as a primer. But I'm having a problem now where my eyeshadows are not staying, so I need to find a better eye primer. Now I'm gonna take some Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder. You can get it off of the lid and in here. There's two different ways you can do it. You can either use a brush, or I've seen some people use a beauty blender. I'm gonna use a brush right now. I'm just gonna dip it in there, tap it off, and put it where I set that concealer. And this is going to hold your makeup in place, reducing any lines. And I'm not caking it on, I'm like putting it on and then brushing it off. You can leave it on for a lot longer if you want. I'm gonna take the bottom of my beauty blender and make a line. Brighten it up. Then I'm just gonna stamp everything out with my beauty blend just to get it nice and blended, and then I'm gonna brush away that. So now I'm gonna do my bronzer. I just use powder, butter bronzer from Physicians Formula. It smells like coconuts. It smells so good. Take a thin angled brush and I rub it in there, tap off the excess, and I put it in the dark spots of my face. So now I'm going to change what my face looks like. I'll blend it better later. I'm gonna go around the base of my head for the sun-kissed look. And they say to make like a 3, so top like that, and chisel out where I wish I had a draw line. Just to give the appearance like I'm skinny. And I always make this face. I don't know why. Look like a monkey. I'm going to contour my nose just a little bit, make it stand out. And I'm going to go over that with Too Faced bronzer, and I just dip it in both sides, tap off the excess, and just go over everything I just did, just to put some life back in my face. I don't want to create any harsh lines, blending everything out. Some blush, and this is Milani Rose. It comes with brush underneath, but I don't like using that. I use my own. I use one like this. So I tap in it, tap off the excess, and I put it on this side of my eye. Some people say to do it on the apples of your cheeks, but I do it up higher to pull my face up. This half. This point, I've got my face on, so now I'm gonna take this Milani Make It Last setting spray. Just gonna spritz it all over. I'm gonna take my beauty blender and just pat everything in, just to make sure that there's no harsh lines, nothing that looks ridiculous. So I've zoomed you in because I'm gonna do my eyebrows now. And so I use this Instant Brow Lift in the color brown. I like this because it has a spoolie and then you just twist. And so I comb them out first, and then I'm going to try to find the high point in my brow and draw a line out. Like that. So there's the high point. And then I'm gonna go on top of my brow and draw a line to meet that, which is harder than it looks. There, so now I've kind of got the top. I need to fix that part though. Trying to angle holding my brush, not like this, but down. So then I need to fill in the front and try to make it come to a point. And then I'm gonna fill in from the middle to the back to create kind of like a triangle or like a, I don't know, wing. And then I'm gonna fill in the bottom. Fill in the middle. And then I'm gonna brush it out. And boom, there's one eyebrow. And I'm gonna do the other side. Now my eyebrows are not the same.
They're not the same at all.
Mine don't look like sisters, mine look like cousins. And sometimes I overdraw one, which it's usually this one I overdraw. And if you'd like to give me any tips on how to even out my eyebrows, please let me know. My camera cut out halfway through this eye, so I'm gonna do this eye and show you how I did it. I'm gonna take a big fluffy brush and my bronzer, and I'm gonna swirl it around and tap off the excess and focus on this top portion of my eye because I want my eye to be lifted. So I don't wanna put it down here, I wanna put it up here. So I'm gonna fill it in, start off with a little and then work your way up to make the edge right here darker, but you wanna keep the middle light to pull up your face. And I'm just kind of windshield wiping, I'm just getting it all over my crease where my eye socket goes in, which you could see if my eyes weren't hooded because I'm fat. Kind of focusing out right here because that's where I want to create dimension and have it be darker. I'm just gonna blend so there's no harsh lines. Maybelline City Mini Palette, this brown, on a more concentrated brush, and it has an angle, so I'm going to create a winged look in the corner. Remember, not too much, because you can always put on more, but you can't take away. See, it's kind of a wing on both sides. I'm just going to blend it on the lid, and then I'm going to take that fluffy brush again and just blend those two together. Perfect. Now I'm going to work my way in, so I'm going to get lighter right here on the base. So I'm going to take a fluffy brush and my Makeup Geek and tap it in here, tap off the excess, and just start to get lighter. So now that I've gone to here, I'm going to take a more concentration brush, white or light, and make my inner corner light up to brighten it up. Final step is I'm going to take my Makeup Geek palette again with my ring finger. I'm going to put my finger in here, tap off the excess, and just tap on that color because it will make it brighter. And I'm going to light up my inner corner on both sides. To finish up my eye look, I'm going to go underneath, starting dark to light. Concentrated brush, and tap it in my bronzer, and get it right in the bottom of my eye, and connect it back up. Take a different brush and just go underneath. And then I'm going to go on the other side. I'm going to go to the middle and I'm going to take a fluffy brush. I'm going to go into that peachy again and go right in the middle. And blend that with the lighted inner corner. I'm going to create an eyeliner look using a dark brown and this very thin brush with an angle. I'm going to go in the dark, tap it off, and create a wing. There we go. Ooh. At this point, I'm going to spray my face again with the same. Take my beauty blender again and just make sure everything is where it should be. Now I'm going to put on highlighter, which is a Boxum. I don't know where I got this from, but it's a little gold. I'm going to have that, rub it in there, tap off the extra, and put it on the high points. Woo! Whoa, look at that. The high points of my face. Down my nose. on the front of my nose. Right here on my Cupid's bow. And then I'm gonna highlight my brow bone. Well, if you could see it, because I'm fat. So now you can see all the shiny parts. Set you apart from everyone else. I'm gonna spray my face one more time before I put my mascara on, and then I'm gonna do it after too. I just want everything to set in place and tap it all in. So I always curl my eyelashes using an eyelash curler, and this is really dangerous in a camera. And I just squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it. Let go, then same with the other eye. And I'm probably gonna repeat this process 2 more times. So I'm gonna use 2 different mascaras. I use the Maybelline Lash Sensational, and I'm using the Voluminous L'Oreal Original. I like them both. I like to mix the wands of each. So here's the wand for the L'Oreal. I'll look down. And try to coat them with one good coat, pulling them out. And then trying to get those ones in the corner. I have 1 coat of the L'Oreal on, and now I'm going to do a coat of the Lash Sensational, and this wand is very different. This wand is a curve, and I'm gonna look down again. And so now I'm putting on a 2nd coat. Now I have 2 coats on. Now I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna take the L'Oreal and the Maybelline and mix the wand with the formula and put on a 3rd coat. Okay, so I'm going to take what's left over on here and do my bottom lashes.
I'm just going to shake it around.
And now that I've got the 3rd coats on, I'm going to put my mascaras away. I did get a little bit down here, so I'm just going to let it dry. I'm not going to try to wipe it off. I'm going to let it dry and then pick at it, and then it won't take off the rest of my makeup. So I'm going to get my curler again, and I'm going to go over them.
I'm just going to zap that.
So then I take my finger and just kind of push them up, separate anything that I don't like, just blink and push them up more. Put on false eyelashes, and I've got these from Ardell. What I do is I fit it on my eye, and then I cut off like just this little part. The volume is like towards the back, so it lifts my eye up. I've just got regular tweezers, and then so I take them and I just peel it right off of it. And this one's already been cut. It's bigger here and smaller here. Curl it. So, like, it doesn't go over my whole eye. It's just, like, the back part. Oh, that was the wrong eye. No wonder I couldn't figure it out. So, I've got many different kinds of glue. I'm going to use the glue that I got with the Falsies Lash Kit. And this glue came with it. And then this tool. It's like tweezers, but then there's also this applicator. So, I'm just going to squirt the glue on my wax paper. I'm going to use the bottom side of this to put on the lash. So I've got glue on it. Got a lot of glue on it. But I don't know if you can see. This side is shorter. This side is longer. So I'm just going to let this get tacky. Then it will stick to my eye better. Okay, so it's been about a minute. So then I'm going to look down in a mirror and fit it to this corner.
The outside corner. We'll put it kind of on top of my eyelash.
Ooh, wasn't tacky enough. I put too much on. Just going to push it right on top of my lashes to my eyeline. Okay, so I've got my fake eyelashes on. You can run your mascara through it one more time if you want to, but I'm not going to. I have a different setting spray for the end. This is Bella Jade setting spray. I don't know. It's like more organic. I don't know. Tea extracts. I don't know. Beauty blend. Fan.